Hey everyone, this is Wei and welcome back. Let's do a quick and fun sketch of King Kong. So let's get started and I'll talk about the process along the way. Alright, so let's draw this King Kong. This is a kind of, really fun, kind of loose sketching. Obviously, because we're not drawing a, portrait or anything. And the gorilla is really, this King Kong, it's really very rough, a lot of big features. So I'm just gonna, this is kind of stuff that's really fun to do. I'm using a 6B and you kind of need this kind of pencil because it's just really dark, and it's very soft. And if you have, if you don't have it, if you do it with like an HB and stuff, it just doesn't have the same feel to it, It doesn't have that looseness. I mean, you can try it. It'll just be a little bit lighter, overall. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna start right at the eyes and just start shading pretty dark, and without worrying too much about accuracy. So I just kind of want to just kind of shade. I mean, this is like what you can do, when you're kind of bored or whatever. Just kind of get a pencil and start sketching. That way you don't have to worry about anything else, like is it gonna look like that person, or what are you gonna do with this kind of drawing? Do you want to frame it? Just kind of let it go, forget about it and just draw it. If it looks good, you can always frame it. But seriously, I never frame any of my drawings except for a few that I've sold, but I don't do that anymore. So okay, I'm just kind of shading the eyes, right? It's kind of weird process, right? I'm not drawing anything else, and I'm just whatever I see, I'm just gonna try to develop that area first. So it's a very different approach, and it's almost like very spontaneous. Here's his eye. It's like I'm not gonna rough in this stuff, because I kind of want to concentrate on shading. So like the hair, let's see, he's got more hair here, it's coming down. I'm trying to shade at the same time. Let's see how this thing turns out. Okay, so a lot of it is, on the top part is more hair, so let's go down, because I really like this nose area. It's pretty cool. It's got this weird, really odd looking thing. So let's see here, it's got this almost like a U shape here. I can just sketch in something like that, and there's this nice shine to it, which I'm going to try to keep by shading it correctly. It's almost like a tubing, right? Kind of folded up. So the edges on the round is dark. It's darker down here, maybe a little bit more lines. This comes down here. So I'm gonna try to shade I'm just gonna call it some kind of, almost like intestines. Trying to keep the middle part, because it's shiny, catching the highlight. All right, I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I mean, I can always go in and clean things up, but let's just keep going. Okay, now that I made this really dark, this eye area all of a sudden doesn't look as dark anymore. So I'm just gonna go in and hit it again and try to develop this area a little bit more. There's a lot of little subtle shading. If you feel like it, you can always go in and do it. Just whatever you want to do. Yeah, sometimes it is nice to just go in there and just keep working in the area, and then you can see it. Wow, it's like, ooh, it's like it's really showing through, right? It gets you a little more motivated. It gets you a little bit more excited about the drawing. So right now I'm just concentrating right here on the little eyes. I'm starting to see all these little things, and it's kind of like, do I want to hit it now or do I want to hit it later? Yeah. So as much fun as that is, I've got to move on. Yeah, this hair right here is pretty cool. I mean, if I can do it, really brings out the rage, especially with the direction. Like you can just do like this, you know, it kind of looks like fur, you know, going out that way. You try to follow the direction. It's really cool. See, if you just do something like that, it almost looks like there's fur, right? But it's so simple. It's just a couple of lines like that. Well, let's go down to his lip, which is like crazy. All right, there's this line here. And the shadowing is cool here, you know. Obviously, this is from, you know, it's a CG character. I mean, it's from the movie. So they generally have very good lighting. You know, one thing about, you know, feature film is just the lighting on the CG stuff is usually very dynamic, and it's a lot more interesting than if you actually see, you know, like in the zoo or something like that. It's just kind of boring. Those lightings are relatively flat most of the time. But this, you know, they pay a lot of attention to lighting. So it's always nice to have feature film imagery. And I used to work in film for over 6 years as doing 3D, building 3D models. So I was in that industry, so I kind of see how it works. It's just kind of crazy. The amount that goes in to making, you know, this computer stuff is really amazing. So my job was to build models. So it's like a film like this, I would be building, let's say, you know, this 3D model. And then the other departments would take care of it. Like we have the texturing and lighting and all that stuff. Anyway, let's not talk about that too much, but it was kind of fun working in that industry for a while to see how it works. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, it's teeth. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. So right here, it's dark. Yeah, it's hair. See my standing frame. Okay. Yeah, actually, this is a lot of fun. I might be able to actually finish this, maybe. So this is darker here. His gum's darker, but there's some highlight because his lip in here is even darker. So I'm gonna try to keep it. His teeth. Now this area is all black. Well, it might be some detail, but I can't really see it from this image. Could be I'm using the Galaxy Note next to me where I have the image. Sometimes the contrast is a little high, so I miss some of the details. All right, so I can outline like this mouth right here. I just outline this because I know most of this is gonna be dark, so I'll just outline it, and then I'll just hit it. See how nice the 6B is? It's just awesome, right? You can just a couple of strokes and you're done. It's like things like this right here, and inside the teeth right here. There's a lot of contrast, right? Because the teeth is white, and then obviously the inside of the mouth is dark. So those are the areas that needs to be really dark, kind of like this, right? If I hit those areas really dark, it just pops out this whole teeth area. That's really cool. All right. So if you're not doing, you know, sketching in the little reference points and things like that, your drawing might be off. And actually my drawing is a little bit off too, you know, but his mouth needs to come out this way. I know that. But it's okay, you know, just kind of, the important thing is to just draw this thing. So who cares if it's a little bit slanted? It's like if you can make a drawing of this with good shading, and you know, you can feel the rage and stuff. I mean, no one's gonna even care that it's slanted, you know. So that's what I mean, is that sometimes you just gotta go for it and just keep going. All right, so his bottom lip right here is darker. It's got a teeth right here. I can draw on these contour lines a little bit just to remind me that it's coming, you know, coming this way. So this teeth right here is a little bit more complicated, so I'm not gonna put in too much detail because I want to keep the whole thing consistent. I don't want too much detail in any given area. Okay, so this is dark right here. I don't know what's going on. It looks like it must be fur, but it's all dark. Now this tongue right here is important because there's a shadow area right here. So the shadow area, we can exaggerate it. This line right here, okay, we can exaggerate that, and it's gonna give this whole area, you know, a very cool look, right? Just by having this contrast right here. Okay, so that is important right there, and this is in the shade, so it's darker. Gotta make it darker or else. And then this here, see this shadow goes all the way through. So by doing that, you know, this shadow line right here is really important because now we can feel the lighting coming through, and it's gonna give this thing a lot more, you know, three-dimensional, a lot more, you know, depth. Okay, so that's one thing about shadow areas. Okay, so we can actually go back. Let's fill in a little bit more. Let's fill in a little bit more so we can get kind of like the shape of the face. And I might just call this done. All right, so you see that? The fur, making this darker. If I make this darker, now it looks like this thing is coming forward, which is kind of what you see in the reference. So I'm going to sketch in maybe a little bit of this kind of line so that I can kind of outline the face a little bit better. Okay, so let's go back up. See, it's going this way, so normally I would turn my piece of paper, but I'll just rotate my arm since I don't want to block the camera or turn the paper too much. Okay, so there's a lot of little variations right there, so I'm just going to hit it like that. And again, this back area needs to be darker. So by doing that again, it feels like this part is coming forward, so it gives it depth. Okay, so we're going to keep going. And then this part, let's make it a lot darker because this is in the shade. Okay, so here is the terminator. The light is falling off right here. Okay, after this part, everything's in the shade, and right here too. This is important. You see these little hair right here. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. That will be the terminator. Okay, and then everything else here is in the shade, so we have to exaggerate the terminator. And everything in the shade, you can actually make it a little bit lighter like this, and it still looks good because as long as we can see this shape, and there's contrast between these two. This is lighter, this is darker. You know, it's gonna round out this whole face area. And all you need is like here, so you can just do a little bit, you know, and it'll kind of look like, you know, fur. You know, not too much stuff. Okay, and you go back up here a little bit. Again, the light is ending right around here, so it's nice to have this kind of continuous line going up, just so that we can kind of frame it a little bit better. And then this part is dark. We can actually do something like that, just fill it in. Okay, we don't have to do too much of it because I'm really rubbing out my pencil here. This is so like this area right here is kind of it's in the shade, right? So you can just kind of do this. That way, it kind of blur things out a little bit. So it gathers less attention. So it's actually, this is kind of what I mean by, you know, artistic expression. By doing that, you know, you're focusing your eye on this part. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a little bit more shading in here, so that we can feel the mouth a little bit more. Okay, so this tooth right here is probably a little bit too dark because it's kind of getting lost, so I'm going to dab it, bring it back out so I can see. Okay, so I think, yeah, I don't know, maybe I should just stop. I mean, this is kind of cool, you know. You feel the rage in this guy. So more shading, let's see, this could probably go a little bit lighter so that we can see a little bit better. All right, maybe dab it a little bit right here for the teeth, since there are some teeth in here. Okay, and that's, yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, could probably fill in this area a little bit more, but, and then here I can actually just kind of frame it, you know, finish out, say here. So now I'm just framing, I'm right, like here, his body. So if I do something like that, if I do something like this here, which is, and then shade this maybe a little bit darker, just so that it doesn't just end. Shade the top here a little bit. Okay, and then here is his chest area. Let's not go into that. His chest area, a little bit more fur here, just so that it's not so abrupt. All right, so I think that's about it. I mean, I don't want to go in too much. It's just a little quick little sketch. Try to use a dark pencil if you can, you know. It's a lot of fun, and just kind of go for it. Don't worry about accuracy too much. Just shade it. Yeah, it's kind of fun to do something like this. I might add a little bit stuff later, but other than that, I'm gonna call this done, because this is just a quick sketch to loosen yourself up. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and just give it a shot, you know, because this is it's really fun. It's actually very useful. So hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you next time.